How's yours?
It's going good as well.
It's
So I'm going to
good.
start off with the intro, and then I'm going to have you introduce yourself. You
Okay.
ready?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to start off. Welcome to Origins, with the extraordinary leads to inception, and creativity know no limits in the realm of our podcast. We celebrate the vibrant hues of talent, the electrifying energy of passion, and the bold strokes of unique. Today we extend a heartfelt invitation to our special guests to grace our stage, illuminating their craft, a measure of their arts, and a visionary destined to inspire. As we delve into the essence of creativity, let the aura of your talent resonate, the essence of your soul captivate, and the power of your voice resonate. Origins beckon you to showcase your magic, unveil your genius, and let your brilliance set the world ablaze. This is your moment to captivate, your stage to conquer, and your legacy to create. Welcome to Origins, where dreams take flight, talent find no wings, and greatness know no boundaries. Go ahead.
So, thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name's Bria Davis, and I'm a guitarist. I've been playing for about 11 years, but I don't count my early years because I hated to practice, and my parents definitely had to force me to do a lot of it. But I would say I've been playing seriously or like kind of professionally ever since 2020.
Okay, no problem, no problem. And shout out to your parents.
Yeah, definitely.
And you mind adding some volume to your voice. You sound a little bit low.
Oh, sure. Let's see. I might be able to. Oh, here. Just this. I don't know. Maybe it's my. It might be my
Is that your
headphone.
normal speaking voice?
Yeah.
Oh wow. You got a very quiet
Oh,
voice.
sorry. I can try talking louder though, if that also
Yeah,
helps.
yeah.
Yeah.
That will help.
Okay. Sounds good.
So how does all begin for you? How has your journey started?
For sure. So, when I was about 7, I think, my parents got me a guitar for Christmas, and I never really remember asking for one, but I was lucky that they just kind of started getting interested into that. My dad actually went out and got a guitar one year and just like without asking anybody, and he started playing at first. And then I think that's probably what sparked them into going and getting me one for Christmas. So they got me that, and then they signed me up for lessons. I lived in Tennessee at the time, so I did some lessons at like a local music shop. So that kind of got me into it. But I think just doing lessons definitely wasn't the most exciting thing, so I kind of got bored really easily and didn't practice as I should have. And that my parents kind of had to hold my hand through it all and was like, please practice, like, you gotta get ready for your lessons. And then the music store ended up shutting down, and I ended up going right next door to a place called School of Rock. And that kind of picked up definitely for me because then I was doing lessons, and they also signed me up for like joining like miniature bands. So they would kind of put you in a band, and it would have a theme, or like you'd be in like a country band or like a hard rock like theme. So I kind of got to do that, and that introduced me into different music and actually like learning songs, which I think is definitely a lot different than just practicing and learning notes and stuff like that. So that kind of two separate starts. There's kind of the dull start with the lessons, and then like the exciting start with the School of Rock stuff. So that's kind of where I
Hmm.
believe it all started.
Okay. Interesting. And when during this time you was like learning, were you necessarily like already interested by the time your parents got you taking classes?
Yeah, I think I was just learning out of a book at that point. It was like the Hal Leonard like standard learn guitar book. And I think that kind of got me interested in it. I remember like the song that I really liked playing, or that like I kind of learned first, was Yankee Doodle, and I was just excited to know how to play something. So I learned that song, and but my problem was is that I would always stick to the stuff I knew. I didn't like not knowing stuff, so I'd kind of just replay the same songs over and over again. So like that Rock and Robin, and like probably like Ode to Joy or something. And I was like, okay, I know these 3 songs. I'm really gonna only play these songs because I don't feel like learning anything else.
Mm.
because the other stuff was hard and I didn't really have the guidance at first. So I think that then taking lessons like that, if anything, like encouraged my enthusiasm about it. So it was kind of there, but that just helped kind of broaden it a little bit.
Okay. And while you was taking these classes, when did it went from, a passion of yours to you like, yeah, I think I want to take this serious.
For sure. So I think that definitely, and that's kind of how I split up my beginning to my, or sorry, my start to my like actually beginning, because I did start back in or like 11 years ago, but I think I truly picked up in like 2019 to 2020ish time. And what sparked that was that School of Rock started their, or I became old enough to do School of Rock's touring like program. So I joined their house band, which is like their sponsor group kind of, and they took us out on tours. So in 2019, I got to go tour the West Coast. So we did Los Angeles, we started there, went through Nevada, and Las Vegas. We did San Francisco, which was super fun. I got to play at some really historic places like Whiskey A Go Go, which was super fun. So that was really cool to see. And I think that that's what sparked it in me, was like, hey, like this is kind of cool. I can get really unique experiences out of it. And just seeing the reactions of the crowd, like, oh wow, you guys are super young. I think I was like 13 at the time. And it was super cool to just see like, hey, like people actually like this, and I really liked it. I loved traveling. I loved really forming that bond with the band I was traveling with at the time, that the School of Rock set up for us, and it was just really cool to see all of us grow and like learn how to actually perform. So I think that the performing aspect of it, that's what really got me, and that transitioned me into like kind of liking it and kind of doing it for fun to like, oh wait, I actually really want to do this and want to take it seriously.
Okay. Okay. And when it came to School of Rock, you always been experiencing playing with others within bands,
Yes.
and when you was learning on your own, you was mostly playing with solo. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Um, Interesting. And during this time of your experience of like School of Rock, what's some of the things that you appreciate that you learned with in School of Rock? And I'm curious, like, what's some of the lessons that you still put into this practice to this day?
For sure. I definitely learned how to work with others in the music world. And they actually helped me to start some of my own groups after the fact, after I aged out. So I'm originally from Florida, and that's where I am right now, but I do live up in Minnesota most of the time right now. So up there, I formed a group called Beautiful Bones, and we were just a local cover band, so we would perform around the Minneapolis area. But we got to do a lot of cool things from that, so I think that School of Rock has instilled in me just a way to form that connection with other musicians and kind of get the ball rolling easier, because I've known a lot of people where they will try and form a group, but they just end up not, like, just kind of playing for fun, which nothing wrong with that. I'm definitely kind of looking to do something like that now, and working on getting another group off the ground down here. But I think that what they helped me with was just actually getting it to go somewhere. So it was really cool to see us play gigs. We got to travel to Miami together, which was super fun, and play in an art festival down there. So I think just like making the impossible possible was something that they taught me how to do, and how to just crank out songs really quick. Because I remember back when I first started Beautiful Bones, we had a bit of a switch up of members, so we had to find new people and figure out what our like final group was going to be. And by then we had 2 weeks to get ready for a show, and we had 0 songs, and we wanted to have a hour set, I'm pretty sure, and in 2 weeks we were able to get that together, and I think a little bit more. So we had a good batch of songs ready for that show, so it was super cool to see us really hunker down and just be able to make something happen with that limited time.
Shout out to that. And how many bands have you experienced under School of Rock?
Ooh, I would say more than 15, I think. I know in like the earlier, it kind of gets hazy. I know that during my earlier years there, they would all have themes. So like I've been in like Prince versus Michael Jackson, Queen, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Songs You Love to Hate, like a bunch of different themes like that. And I should have kept. I have all of the posters from all of them at home somewhere. But I would say more than 15. I'm pretty sure. And then I also, once I got older, I was able to help out with the younger kids. So they do have like, they call it rookies or like Rock 101s, where it's like the younger kids. And I remember like I had to do that. I went through that program, so it was cool to give back and be able to help out with the little kids every once in a while. So I got to do that as well, which is super fun.
That's dope. And do you do any behind the scenes while you're part of these bands?
I'm like not really. I think that most of it I was just kind of I would just
In the
kind of be
moment.
there. I was the one of the guitarists, so I think that guitar was definitely a popular instrument for a lot of people because we had a lot of guitar players. So I knew we were always in the need for drummers. I think that was one of the hardest ones to come across. But yeah, mostly I would just do the guitar stuff.
Okay. No, I'm just saying as like showcase, a bit of y'all bonding or like performing, like any behind the scenes to showcase y'all together or
Oh,
whatever. Hmm.
oh yeah.
Did
Oh,
you
like
have any of that?
like a video of some sort.
Yeah. So you know how like bands be together and they have like behind the scenes them be on the stage or get ready to perform. I was just curious if you had any of that while you was part of the bandmates
Oh,
of your
sure.
previous bandmate.
Yeah, oh gosh, I guess one story I kind of have was, is it okay to share, like, a story, or?
Yeah, a story is far.
Okay, yeah, I think that one of our last gigs together, before we all went off to college for Beautiful Bones, was that we played at it was a venue up in Minneapolis. Super fun. We got to play with some other bands up there. One was Motherwind and oh gosh, there were some other ones. It was a pretty big venue. We were excited to do that for kind of going off with a bang last show. And I remember some of the behind the scenes of that was we were just in the green room together. And we got to sign the wall, which is super fun. There are a lot of cool bands that played there previously, which was super great. So we got to sign that. We put our sticker up there since we had some leftover stickers. We got to kind of see how the merch table works, which I had never really taken deep thought into. So we got to sell some merch. We made some t-shirts for that show. And it was super cool just to kind of see everyone kind of get ready for the show. We were kind of back there just practicing. I think we got food, which was super cool. I think that another kind of one that was my favorite one, which was way back when I did that West Coast tour, so way before Beautiful Bones, but at Whiskey A Go Go we got to kind of see the history of the venue. So we saw some people that played there. Miley Cyrus was one of them, which was super cool to see. I also got to sign that wall, so my name's up there somewhere on the on that like thing with all the artist names, which is super cool. So that was a fun experience to have.
Okay. And my last question when it comes to the School of Rock, uh, I'm curious, what is the typically, time frame that you would spend with is it like what you would call it, like your section band or temporary band?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, we used to call them like seasons. So I don't. It was kind of it was just like a span of time that we'd spend together, learn the songs, and then you would have you'd have your mid-season show and then your final season show. So we would have, I think, like, oh gosh, because I think it would be a few months. I'm not sure exactly how many months it took, but I think it would be like 3 to 4 months, just about. and you would kind of learn the batch of songs at the front half of the season, and then learn another for the back half. And then the mid-season was just kind of like, here are the songs we got so far, we're working on some other ones, but here's like our test run, to kind of see and get a feel for performing our songs live. And then in your end of season show, you would kind of have a full set of like everything you've learned. And it was really cool to kind of see the progress that you made throughout that, and then also just have so many songs to give to the audience, which is always super cool.
Okay. And when it comes to, well, I did say that was my last question, but what was the, um, like, how long you was part of this uh, class?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Let's see. I was like, how long was I with the program?
yeah, since the beginning and the end.
Yeah. I joined them when I was in second grade. I don't know. I think I was 8. I don't know if that's. I think I just remember being in second grade, I think, when I joined. And then I ended when I was 18. You age out once you turn 18, so I was with them for a pretty long time. That's like 10 years.
Okay. And how long you been on your own journey? You know, forming your own band? About like 2 years.
Yeah, just about.
Okay.
We Beautiful Bones got formed back in 2022, so yeah, we started that up, and that was super fun. It's been shaky since we all went off to college, since we all went our separate ways, but I know that everyone's still into music, which is super cool to see to this day. We're trying to start back for the summer because we were gonna play over the winter, but that didn't end up happening. So we're gonna see like how that all goes.
Okay. And you said you part of, or you forming your second band, or you're interested in forming your second.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get something off the ground here in the Tampa area. I know that St. Pete, that's where I go to school, University of South Florida, St. Petersburg, um, that it's a very artistic city. So I love St. Pete. Unfortunately, everyone who's like involved in my school, because I'm on the sister campus, the Tampa campus is the main one. All the
Mm.
musicians are over there, so it is kind of a journey to get over there and figure it out. But I reached out to a few people, and they're down to start something up. So yeah, trying to get that off the ground. I did some work with Sonic Sea Turtles, which is another group up in Minneapolis. They were super cool. I think that they were a big part in my musical journey just because they actually made original stuff. So transitioning from Beautiful Bones, just like a cover group, to working with them was super fun. So I did that last summer, and I helped out another band called Lost, and they were another cover group. So that was super fun to be a part of. So yeah, I love making connections with other musicians. So it was really cool to see the progress in that.
And what is your role? Like, do you offer, the fill in as a guitarist, or do you do some singing as well?
For sure. I mostly do guitar stuff. I've done backup vocals before. Surprisingly, in a lot of the groups that I've made, singers have not been a problem in finding. It's always the drummers. One big thing that I hold close to my heart is making sure that everyone gets a time in the spotlight, because I think that that's something that, at least from what I've seen, has been kind of tough. At least in the School of Rock scene, it could have just been the school that I went to, or like that. Not more specifically, the kids that were at in my school that I was with. But I think that what I kind of saw was that there was an uneven balance in like parts, or like lead parts, and people would complain, and it was just a bit of a struggle point. So I think that is why I wanted to like start Beautiful Bones. I started that project with my friend Sophia, and that was super cool to see, just because we were able to make the parts, and we were able to make sure that everyone got what they wanted, and everyone was pretty happy and satisfied. So I think that kind of transitioning back over, it's just, that's always important to me, making sure that people are happy. So I haven't really done a lot of singing just because I don't want to take those parts away from the singer of the group. But if I were to start like a new group from scratch, not this current group, but a new one, I would maybe try singing, because I think that being able to play the guitar and sing is a pretty valuable trait to have.
Okay. Shout out to you. And
Thank you.
well, you was just saying earlier that you try to make it you know, uh, your main focus, I would say, to give everybody a spotlight. How do you go about that?
For sure. I think back with Beautiful Bones, how I would do it is like any part. I don't really use the term like lead guitarist. I don't know.
Mm.
I think that it's a group effort, and I mean, I wouldn't be able to do half the parts that I could do without the quote unquote like rhythm guitarist. So I mean, but like tip or what's it called? Like factually, yes, there are two parts, and they both play a key role. But I would never like call the other guitar player in the group. His name was Gavin. I would never call him like the second guitarist. We're both the guitarists of the group. So
Mm.
whenever he would come up to me and he would be like, "Hey, there's this cool solo. Like, I want to do it." I'd be like, "Okay, for sure. Like, you can do that. I'll find another one, and like I'll find a solo like I can do." So I wanted it to be even, and I think that that was a big part in like that. I always wanted us to communicate to each other like, hey, like I really want this part, like how do you feel about that? There were some parts in songs that I didn't have the correct gear for. So I was like, hey, like this solo has this, like you have that pedal, like do you want to do that? Like stuff like that. Just to make sure that everything flowed as best as possible. I think that that's really important. And that I think that we were all friends to start with, which was super cool. So it was hard kind of switching off our like hangout mode to working, like learning stuff mode. But just making sure that we keep that friendship throughout the like business side of things and make sure that we're treating everyone with the respect and how we want to be treated.
Okay. And I'm curious, when you're part of a band, what do you feel like is your biggest strength compared to, one of your weakness that you probably in your uh point of view that you need to work on?
For sure. I think my biggest strength is probably, uh, and this could also be my biggest weaknesses too, but I think that I definitely put myself in other people's shoes probably more than I need to, but I think that my main goal is like at the end of the day, whoever's involved in the project we're working on, like I want everyone to be satisfied and happy with what they're doing and with the group as a whole. So I think that that's my biggest strength is I don't want to, it's not, I think it's a group effort, and in that case it should be a group like final product as well. So I think that whoever comes in is going to come out, and I want to make sure that no one's left behind. So I would say that I really try to not be like self-centered in that. So I don't want it to be like, I don't know, I don't want it to be like a whole me thing. So I definitely want it to be evenly spread amongst all of us. So I would say that's probably my strength. And then on the contrast, which is honestly kind of similar to it, my weakness is probably, I would say, like, wanting to be, I would say acceptance. Like, I think I look to others for acceptance on certain things. Like, oh, do you like this? Like, what do you guys think about this? I don't really forge my own path as well as I should. So I think that that's probably my weakest point is just like, oh gosh, like if they don't mess with this, then I don't know if we could keep doing it. But at the same time, I think that that's definitely what I should be working on, and just being more assertive with it. So I want to make sure that, on the other hand of things, like making sure others are heard, but also giving that back to myself and making sure that I'm heard with my ideas.
Shout out to you. And speaking of giving other people the spotlight, I'm curious of your current bandmates. What's some of the things that you truly cherish about them?
Yeah, I would say out of them, I definitely cherish for Sophia. She's been there the whole time, so that was really cool to see it kind of pick up and take off. So I definitely recognize that from her. Also, like how she was always super open, and she gave, I would say, out of everyone, she would always give the best feedback. So it it was really cool to kind of see her grow and find her voice because I know that we were both very quiet like starting out. So super cool to see that. She's actually doing school at Berkeley now, which is really exciting. So she got into there, which I'm really happy for her for. That was super cool to see. And then, so she was our singer slash keyboardist, and then Gavin was our other guitarist. So Gavin, I think that I would find that he was always super good at, like, he became a sturdy like backbone of the group. So Sophie and I did, like, we were kind of like, I think of us as like the founders, or like we kind of planted the seed, but he was definitely really good in like getting it to grow and become, I think he really like amped us all up. So he would always kind of carry that excitement, which was super cool to see. And he made it like really exciting to just be around, and he kept the hype going, which was super cool. And then Luke was our bassist. He was also, I think him and Gavin played off of each other very well. They would always be like the most energetic on the stage, which was something I always needed to work on. But they would always be super energetic. Luke was always super positive, so I think that Gavin, or I think so, yeah, but Luke was really positive, and he was also pretty good at getting that feedback as well. And then lastly, our drummer, his name is Jack. He was super cool, and I think that with him, he was always really good at keeping us on task. I think that we needed that sometimes, and he was really good at making sure that whatever our goal was for the day, like, we'd come out getting close to, if not meeting that goal.
Okay, I respect that. And then I'm curious, when it came to the music, did y'all ever gotten a chance to release some original music, or is that still in the vault, cooking?
Yeah, I think that and that ultimately became our, not demise, their downfall, but it definitely became the topic that we never really fully addressed, because I think all of us want to write original music, and we all like have that drive to do it. It's just that we have so many conflicting styles. Like, I love all music, and I think everyone else does too. It's just we all have different views of like what our original sound is going to be. So we've recorded some stuff and we've tried, but it's never left the vault. What my parents always said, and what I kind of picked up, was like, you can work on your original stuff, and even if you don't like it, you can still share that. I know it's a very like personal thing to you, but you can still share it. Easier said than done. And just ask whoever your audience is, like, tell them like, hey, I'm working on this, what do you think? Because at the end of the day, I mean, it's just cool that you've made something. So I think that musicians definitely, at least us, we've always been pretty like scared to show that to the world. So that was a problem that we ran into. So yeah, we unfortunately don't have any originals at the moment, but I think that we're trying to get back and running this summer, and I think we're just gonna try and do originals, no covers at all, because I think that's what we got too comfortable with. So I think that that's what direction we're heading in.
Okay. So, for my 2 cents, and this is for you and the rest of your crew, release some fucking music.
Yeah.
um, but all jokes aside, and I understand the expectation could be, you know, try not to be hard on yourself, as the world might make it seem like everything got to be perfect or damn near, a certain way. But at the same time, everybody got to take that beginner step. So, and treat your music as a library.
Of course.
Your music is gonna be, I got. At the end of the day, all classic end up, it wasn't the favorite song of the artist, right, or the bandmates.
Of
The
course.
classic, became something of the fan favorite of the community that you built. So I would definitely say there's ways to go about it, even being anonymous release, to test it out, or you know, even the music that you don't release. This is where behind the scenes become useful, because like that's extra content, and you can bring some love and attention and leave it up to the audience. Like, hey, if you really fuck with this, we release it. That's even ways for you to test out your music too. You can actually take advantage and kill two birds with one stone. Marketing, bam. and behind the scene, bam. But basically, you're giving somebody, some content. Especially, there's no, how can I put it? When it comes to the music scene, there's no top dog, and that's kind of really hard to say. I'm at least talking about from the hip hop standards, but when it comes to rock, I don't think there's a top dog either. But right now is room in marketing and space for new music. Everybody's hungry. Everybody's looking for that new sound. And since we don't have no star power, at least when it comes to the U.S. right now, is really open seats. So I would definitely recommend like, hey, test out your music, especially we release to see like how your sound is if y'all decide to stay together. Not trying to put any negative energy out there, but we release like to get to experience you know what what is the name of your band again?
Beautiful Bones.
Beautiful Bones. We release to like to experience what magic y'all would create, what y'all share amongst the world. Um, and I think we live in a universe right now where a lot of people is open to exploring new ideas or even emerging sounds. I have a few artists that came on here and they talk about mixing country with reggae. Um, mixing these different sounds and these different cultures, all together. So I think people are already interested to that. If you check out like my past few interviews, Abby Woods is someone I would recommend for you to check out for a female lead singer.
Oh,
Uh, um, Forgive me if I get your name wrong. I think her name is pronounced Samaya. She's a black female lead singer in a band, but she's had a beautiful voice. And if I had to describe her something, maybe a bit of Evanescence,
okay.
with a bit of. I think you would really like this. The first one,
Yeah,
Abby Wood, you got more of that lead singer Paramore type of vibe.
yeah.
Um, but Samaya, oof, really powerful voice. I think you might enjoy her. And then the last one out, is Booth, uh, Boof. Um, Unique band, like really. I don't even know how to describe it, but they got a really raw sound to them. Ooh, very acid. You might like her. She's
Yeah.
another. She kind of got like a soft voice to her as well, but she can get like really emo with it. Um, but all the reason why I recommend them because they all bring something unique, something different. So that might inspire you. That might, uh, But basically, start your story, start your journey. Um, it's all about with experience and over time, and the only way you're going to be to find out if no matter what, how hard y'all thinking on what sound y'all trying to push out there, you know, you won't get to confirm if it's gonna work or not. To people react to it, and even if a little people, even if you only start off with a little bit of attention, to the rest of the world see it, that song still got an opportunity. So just take a leap. So that's why I recommend, especially
Yeah.
after seeing your performance. And I think you showed me a little bit of Beautiful Bones performance. Which one, the first or the second video, or that was all?
Oh, I think whichever one it was with like it was kind of darker. It was like in that uh it was like with the crowd kind of.
Mm-hmm.
That one was Beautiful Bones. Um
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Just from a little bit that I seen, definitely got star power. I mean, you got the crowd reacting to y'all. They hype. They excited. It seemed like they wanted an encore. So I definitely say, from present presentation, you definitely got it. So I would definitely like to see that same energy when it comes to your music. And I think y'all definitely got potential to grab a crowd.
Thank you. Yeah.
No problem. Bringing this back to you, I'm actually curious. What are you studying in college currently?
Yeah. I'm a bio major, so it's a. I think that I wish I was doing something like music related, um, but so I was kind of hoping to like minor in something like that. But as of right now, I'm just doing bio. I'm on a pre-health track, kind of pursuing the path to like an end all goal. I think that right now I'm interested in forensic pathology. So I think that that's where I'm kind of geared towards. But yeah, so med school's in my future, so I've got to preparing for that at the moment. And then yeah, so but always hoping to keep music in my vicinity.
Okay. And what is your goals for your current band compared to, you wanting to form your second band as well? Is the goals aligned with each other, or is there you have certain standards for one band for the other one?
Yeah, I'm like, I think right now, what we're trying to do, what I would love to do is kind of what I wish I did with Beautiful Bones at the start. I think that it should be an even amount of originals and covers, because I think that especially when you're starting out, when you're performing, it's important to have something to kind of hook the crowd in. I think that when you're first starting to write, obviously like things won't be perfect right away. So having like covers or like stuff that the crowd will recognize will hook them in, and then you already have their attention. Go ahead and present some stuff you're working on to kind of keep that ball going and to promote your own stuff. So that's what I'm hoping that this new band will kind of amount out to. As for Beautiful Bones, I'm hoping that we can come back together. We perform together really well, so I don't want us to lose that. And I think that I don't know what kind of happened between all of us I think that happened. We performed one show last summer, and we didn't really do anything after that. We kind of just hung out together. So I think that we got kind of distracted, because I think that all of us started working with other groups too, so that also was part of it. But I think that, at least how I see it, is I know that Beautiful Bones is always kind of there. Like, that's just something that we could always kind of do. So I just hope that we can kind of get the ball up and running again, and then hopefully make those originals that we talked about but never finished.
Okay. Shout out to you. Coming to the halfway mark, how we feel?
Oh, feeling good.
Good to hear. All right, I'm about to give you some collaborations on my end that I personally made, and you're welcome to, use them to build connections or network with.
Oh, thank you.
Uh, the first one that I would like to shout out is One Nation. He's a black author creating his own black comic book / manga with his own black characters. So if you like to connect and, network with someone within that field, you can make it happen.
Of course, thank you, yeah.
No problem. The second one, shout out to Jet Production. They make short action films. So if you like to be part of that or connect with somebody within that field, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. The third one, shout out to Mason Needladder. He's a 2D animator. He's good with anything within that field, such as like flyers, animation, etc. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Well, then we have Jeremy. I believe he's located in North Carolina, but he's starting up his own thing. It's called Tap Room Live, where people can perform in the restaurant. Have like a small crowd where they can perform in, and there would be much more to it. But that's something that he's building up. If you like to stay up to date or connect with somebody, with Jeremy, I can make that happen. Okay. And our last one, shout out to Moss. He's a producer / artist. He's actually working with us to create our first soundtrack, where we mix in horror with Valentine's, and we invite artists to be creative to finish, creating like a soundtrack that they could be part of. But if you're interested in either one or just want to connect with the producer, we can make that happen.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, is there anywhere that I can go to like have like a list of like everyone, like the bands and singers from earlier, and like these shout outs as well, to kind of access all of them?
Oh yes, no problem. I will send you this after the podcast.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem. Let me see. And bringing this back to you, I'm curious, when it comes to talents or people that you would like to network with, that elevate your career, who are you looking for, or who you'd like to network with?
Yeah, I would say I think that I'm definitely looking for If anything, definitely people who can make like beats or anything like that. I think that I definitely struggle with that. I don't know. I've tried so many times to kind of make that, and I think that, or to make music in general, and I think that that's where I always fall short. I think that I love writing poetry, so that is definitely useful when it comes to writing lyrics or kind of starting off the song. But finishing it out, I think I struggle rhythmically a lot. And I've tried to kind of combat that. I've started kind of trying to figure out the piano a little bit, which I'm interested in, which I was like, hopefully that'll help my rhythm. But I don't know. I'm unfortunately not a drummer, so I think that it's possible. I think that I just need to dedicate the time and just really dive into it. That could definitely help me. But as of right now, I think that I'm definitely interested in people who can kind of make that backbone of the song and just get beats going. Singers are always super helpful. I would love to collab with people like that. Other guitarists, I love seeing like dual stuff, so I love like that back and forth. One of my favorite guitarists is Tim Henson, so I think that I've seen him do a lot of collaborations like that, and that's always been super inspiring and cool to see. But yeah, I think those are, and also I'd honestly say like honestly a full group just collabing with anyone like that just to be featured on a project would be super cool. So anything really.
Okay. Shout out to that. So you're looking for a pianist, a producer, uh, certain like bandmates, such as like a guitarist. Okay. All right. Yeah, you said you're looking for a drummer too, or you
Yeah.
just look. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. And when it came to your performance, your experience so far, what's some of your favorite covers that you like that you enjoy performing compared to the crowd?
Yeah. I would say one of my favorite ones. So okay, a cool group that actually I don't think I would know of, unfortunately, without School of Rock. They got me super into them, and then like it just became like a thing that we all loved to play. Because our director, he found out about them first and he suggested it to us, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest song ever. But they're called the Kite Machine, and they're from Australia, and they're super cool. They have a lot of really cool stuff. It's kind of like funk rock, but it's like it's a cool hybrid, and there's a lot of fun stuff in there for everyone. So I fell in love with them. I think that one of my favorite covers to do is a song called Charlotte off of their, I think it's the Kite Machine album. I think that's what it's called. But or actually, I'm not sure what the album's called. I'll have to look at that. But it's called Charlotte, and it's a super cool song. What I love is that there's a lot of features for everybody in there, so it's a really cool vocal song. There's great guitar parts. The drums are super tight and rhythmically challenging. So it's a pretty like spotlighted piece, so everyone gets that time to kind of enjoy themselves up on stage. So I love playing that song live, and Beautiful Bones played that song a few times at some of our shows, which is super cool. I would say another song that I love to play was also on Beautiful Bones' set. It's called Reapers by Muse. That was a super fun one. It has a tapping solo in there, and the like actual solo is super cool. I think that was the first like guitar solo, which is embarrassing to say that because I don't know why it took me so long. But when I learned that song, it was the first guitar solo that I like really locked in and like dedicated to learning to a T. So I really tried my hardest to like actually learn all the parts, because I think I once I learned how to improvise, that was a blessing and a curse, because then I was like, oh, I don't really have to learn all of these songs to like in a finite fashion. Like I can kind of just improvise. Like once I know the key, I can just kind of go off of my own thing from there. So I think that song, when I learned Reapers, that was a really, I think that the whole solo is super iconic. So I was just like, I want to make sure that I learn it for the crowd. I was like, because I know when you go see like a song live and it's different, sometimes it's something good different to you isn't the same like good different to someone else. So I was like, okay, I really want to learn this one like as it's made. So I think that those two are probably my favorite, and I've got good memories to go along with them. So that's always super fun.
Okay, shout out to you. I'm curious, how how far are you willing to explore, the world of within the art entertainment? Like, would we see you exploring, acting or anything? Or
Yeah, I would say I've always been interested in acting. I think that um, that modeling is always an interest too. I love clothes and I love fashion, so I think that I'd love to do something like that. Um, as of acting, I feel like for that, because I told my parents like a long time ago, like when I was in middle school, I was like, oh, I would love to be an actor, but I didn't want to do the steps to become an actor, so I wanted to just get to the final product. That's another struggle of mine is I'm not impatient with others, but I'm impatient with myself to where it's like I expect grand results before I even really know what I'm doing. So I shouldn't be that way, but I do kind of have that mentality for myself. So I'm trying to work on that as we're mid or not even midway through the new year. But I think that I would love to try kind of those two, so modeling or acting. I think that those have always kind of sparked my interest. Um, but I don't know. I think that both are different. Then obviously the arts are kind of intertwined in each other. So I think like with performing, like that is kind of an act. I
mm,
would say, yeah, it's definitely like you got to kind of put on that like persona or like you got to put on that facade kind of on stage when you're performing just to make the audience interested. So I definitely had to work on that for a while. I would say my stage presence is not as good as it should be. I think that one of my favorite shows that I did stage presence wise was probably, honestly, probably in one of those videos that I sent you. That one show with Beautiful Bones, that was really fun. That was a good one. I think that was the largest crowd that we've played in front of at the time, so we were really excited for that. Another show that I did was actually when Squid Rock took us to Portugal, so I got to play at the Rock in Rio festival, which was super fun. And I was really grateful for that experience. So that was super cool. And I remember right before we left, they were like, "Hey guys, like make sure you practice stage presence because you can't go up there and just stand there and play because music is half the puzzle. Like you want to deliver good music, but you want to show the crowd that you're having a good time because if they don't see that, then what type of time are they gonna have?" So I think that that's a key part. And I think that that would play really well into acting or like kind of get me somewhat on the right path to that. So yeah, I would try both of those.
okay, okay. Just had a bit of a brain for it. Oh, I know what I was curious about. When it comes to acting, what type of films would you be interested to role? Would it be part of? Would we see you in some horror films, comedy? What are you interested
Oh, I think like I know my favorite genre. I love horror movies. So I would love to see how those are made. I think that would be super fun. Um, or I also love comedies. So either one of those, two drastic scales, but I would see either one of those. I think would be super fun to be a part of.
in? Okay, interesting, interesting indeed. And going back on your earlier take, you said performing live was a bit of acting, correct? It's interesting that you said I actually have another band for you. They go by Inside the Trojan Horse. Uh, they actually wear a mask, and each of them actually been part of successful bands that went mainstream. I know one of them played previously in Gemini Syndrome. I'm not sure you heard that band. Uh, but yeah, he's one of the key members of this three of them. But they both wear, well, they all three of them they wear masks, and uh, and they all got like a theme. It's like nowhere, no one, and nobody. So
Oh,
that's their theme. I think you would like them too. But they actually got a song called, I think it's Burn, and I'm not sure you ever watched like WWE,
I think I have
like the
once.
wrestling.
Yeah.
You ever listen to like their opening, how they uh, but the point is, they basically made a song that sound like a good ass soundtrack. But that might spark some ideas, or when we was talking about acting and everything.
Uh,
So I would definitely be curious to see it, especially if you mix it. It sounds pretty interesting. It is just my 2 cents, but mixing those two ideas and seeing how you go with it, even if you don't ever like do full time acting, but mixing the acting within your, live sets. Interesting indeed.
yeah.
Uh,
Nice.
so I would definitely like to see what you would do with it. But that would be another bit I would send you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
No problem. Okay. And hmm, I guess this would be the time where you be the update your audience or your listeners that would peep in. What could they be looking forward to? You going down, going to the future, obviously. What they can look forward to. Would it be some new music or would it be, go ahead.
Yeah. Kind of like in the future, like what's to come.
Yeah. What's the call?
Yeah. Um, I would say in the future, as of right now, I think that my main goal is cracking out some originals because everything's already out there, which is so difficult to hear. I just feel like it's hard because I love so much music, like anything from indie to like gent or like metal, like anything under the sun. I'm pretty much there. So it's like I've heard all these great things, and I love listening to music. I think that that is one of the one of the things I do to pass time. Like I love just listening to music, and I think it's so cool just to sit there and listen to like every part of it. And I love breaking down all of those parts and like what went into creating that just right then and there. So I think that in the future I would love to be able to do that and give back the joy that music gives me. Because I think that I can only do covers for so long. And I don't know. I think that that's the one thing that I wish that I, if I could go back and tell myself, like, you should get into this, songwriting would definitely be one of them. So in the future, I hope to kind of, not even perfect, just start cracking away at the code to songwriting and get some stuff off the ground. I would love to get back to playing live. It's hard not doing that for a long time, so I definitely miss performing. That was really fun. And I do miss being able to kind of have that every once in a while, so hopefully getting back into that soon. Um,
No.
oh, yeah.
Oh no, I was just listening. Was
Oh,
that it?
yeah. Oh, yeah, I think those are pretty much, those are the two that, I would kind of say are up on the horizon. And then just making, I love making videos. I think that that's kind of serving as my live performance as of right now. Um, I'm kind of stranded in St. Pete. I don't have a car or anything at the moment, so kind of stranded here. So just being able to record like here, I'm like in my dorm, so just recording here is kind of like my performance. So I think I'm trying to find alternative ways to get my stuff out there. So yeah, I'm just hoping to really plant musical seeds in St. Pete, Tampa, and Minnesota when I go home. So hopefully those start to sprout and regrow.
Okay. And I am curious, do you have any interest on like a solo career?
Yeah, definitely. I think that I've been really group reliant, and my parents have said this too, where you, at a certain point, if the group isn't progressing, which I'm very big on, like group progress and team effort, I don't think it's a bad thing to, you can keep, you can keep giving your energy into like a group thing and keep making, helping that rise up. But if it's ultimately like not really going anywhere, or it's like it's kind of at a halt at the moment, I don't think there's any shame in like going and trying to make something yourself rise up. So I think that that's kind of what I'm helping like get myself into the gears of kind of pursuing that solo like branch off, because I would definitely love to kind of start that. And I think that music has always been a big part of my life. So I think that that like nagging sensation of like, hey, like you haven't made anything yet, like what mark are you gonna leave? Like that's not gonna leave my mind anytime soon. So it's kind of gonna, I'm thinking it's kind of gonna transition from like a we to an I statement. So that, yeah, I'm definitely interested in a solo thing.
Now I can feel that. And my 2 cents with that, treat it like a village.
Yeah.
Your crew should be like help you grow it. You're gonna need somebody to do farming. You're gonna need somebody to take care of the animals, etc. So if y'all able to make progress and build a community with that, I'm all for it. And my second thing I would also recommend, tap in with your business mind. Like even though you see like there is a lot of music, true. However, to run a successful country, you need entertainment. So don't ever look at it like, hey, there's too many fishes in the pond. There's no room
Yeah.
for me to. And look at it as like, hey, as just as there's many entertainers, there's consumers as well. And as long as we got the internet, you got the whole world. You got the whole world to entertain.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say tap in with your business mindset. See where you be. Some people don't want to look at it as this, but that's part of the game. As much as you gotta have creativity, you gotta have a business mindset. So if you're not able to write songs, on creativity, how about switch it to your business mindset? All right, when you write some songs to make money, um, like for example, during Valentine's, there's suckers for Valentine's, either for the good or bad. There's lovers out there. There's people experiencing heartbreaks. Make some songs for people can relate to. You know, uh, you probably experienced your fair share of relationships, or Independence Day. Basically, what I'm just saying, you can tap into like making songs with meaning where people is already going to gather, like for example, or even tap it in with like creating some potential songs that could be used outside of just being listened. Like for example, as an artist, one of the pros that you have is making soundtracks for films. Especially a lot of if you want to get your foot in the door as being an actor, and you probably want to skip past that. That's probably one of the ways you could get your foot in the door. Hey, you need somebody to make you a good fire soundtrack. You know, especially if you compete with other people's prices. Do you want to pay 15K for only a fixed 15-second song play? No, come on, we could talk business here. See, so
Yeah.
I would definitely say tap in with your business mindset. And when it comes to your crew, as long as they're on the same page of like building and growing a community with you, and y'all be able to hold each other to y'all responsibilities or whatever. Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with that. And going forward too, as long as you be able to build and grow a community, I think that's what matters in it. Um, but outside of that, I think y'all have the creativity. You definitely have the star power. Um, and just get your foot out there, before you start full-time work. Because once you start full-time work, you got even less time, uh, to focus on your creativity. So take advantage while you can. Um, and how many years you got left in college?
Yeah, let's see. I'm a sophomore right now, so I've got two more for my bachelor's, and then after that, I'll have to see like what that entails for like med school and shadowing and everything after that. But yeah,
Sound like you about to be busy. So, um, I would definitely, my 2 cents, try to at least get your foot out of the door and the taste of it before the 2 years is up. Um, at least you would be able to give you some time to figure out like, hey, this is something I want to commit to and everything, because that's gonna, I'm pretty sure you know how the role life is being a full-time entertainer. Um, so I would definitely get your foot out the door before the 2 years up. And to end this off with, is there a message that you want to leave your future self?
yeah. I would say for my future self, I would like to leave the message of, oh gosh, I would say just to not be scared to try. Um, just because I think that there is a lot of fear around it, just of like failing, or honestly, I guess I would switch that, not to be scared to fail, because I feel like the trying that I'm doing is minuscule, so it's like kind of tiny pushes in the right direction, just because I'm scared of the potential like major fallback that like a major push could kind of lead to. So I think just making sure that I'm not worried about the failures ahead, because I mean, with every good success, I mean, there's so many failures behind that. So I think that that's really important for my current self and my future self to know and to really think about. So I definitely wish that out to my future self.
Okay, that's great. And end this off with shout out all your platforms, shout out anybody that you want to put on, and then and usually do for artists drop a song they want the audience to tune into. Uh,
Yeah. Oh, let's see. I would shout out. I mean, just to make like my stuff for my videos, I just use GarageBand right now. I'm looking. Really been diving into that kind of as my first step into it. So I've just been using that to make my covers. To edit my videos, I just use CapCut. As of people, I would shout out one of my buddies who I knew back during my like school of rock days. I think it was like his like covers. He does them on Instagram. I think it's Bodie does music. I think that's his thing. And then other people, I know that Gavin does stuff. I think it's Gavin Valentine. I don't know what his Instagram is called. So he does stuff there. But yeah, I think those are the few people that I know who are like making covers at the moment.
okay. And you shout out your platform.
Yeah, let's see. My Instagram is bria.monet dot at, or yeah, my Instagram is that, or I think actually, sorry, it's Bria underscore Bria underscore Monet. That's my Instagram. So I do covers on there, and then yeah, I also just like post stuff. So that's kind of my main platform at the moment.
Shout out to you, and I guess the special one that we can leave off with. How can the audience be able to support you? How would you recommend for the audience to go and support you?
Yeah, I would say right now I'm looking for honestly some suggestions. I think that the main time consuming aspect of making videos is just finding out like what I'm gonna do. So I don't know, like the last cover I did, that took me a second to find, or not even. I stopped for a while because I just had no ideas of like what songs would be good to cover. Because there's so many out there, and I've tried like staying on the ball of like the stuff that is trending at the moment. So I think that asking the audience to like comment like what they're looking for, honestly, like what songs they would like to see, or like anything that they'd be interested in, which I've had some people do before, which is super cool to see. So I'm like working on going back to those and fulfilling those comments. But yeah, just kind of giving me that guidance of like what you guys are interested in, and what they would like to see on the horizon as well.
That's great. It was good to have you on this podcast.